Hey folks, Lily here. I just want everyone to know that the struggle to protect Black lives is on our minds and in our hearts. With that in mind, please go to communityjusticeexchange.org/NBFN-directory and find somewhere you can send a donation to, or just look around on Twitter wherever you can find legitimate bail fund links. People are out there fighting for their lives. And they deserve your support. Enjoy the show. A 3, a 2, a 1, a go.
Does that owl have a name?
Does the owl from the Tootsie Pop
Tootsie Pop, yes.
Tootsie Pop commercial have a name? Isn't it just Mr. Owl?
I think you might be right. It might just be Mr. Owl.
I'm going to look this up.
Some little dirt-ass pigpen-looking kid comes up and says, I remember it being very, like, Peanuts, but if Peanuts was made in the 50s was the aesthetic of the cartoons.
No, but okay.
I guess I'm wrong. Peanuts, I guess Peanuts the strip did exist in the 50s, but what I mean is Peanuts the cartoon.
So let me just
such a fucking fool of myself.
Let me just give us, this is a picture of Mr. Owl and his friend, the child.
I'm looking at him. Yeah. His name is Mr. Owl.
Now, and this Google search did bring me to a page that says 5 sweet facts about Mr. Owl, the Tootsie Pop mascot.
I want to hear the real facts about Mr. Owl.
Okay.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Ad agency donor can be credited for conceptualizing Mr. Owl. That's not interesting at all.
What's your experience with Tootsie Pops, Lily?
I mean, I'm a fan. I haven't had them in so many years, but I've enjoyed them.
Yeah. Was it something that was like around as in your childhood?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Walk me through a typical scenario in which a young Lilith would eat a Tootsie Pop.
I don't know. I'm at school and I get a Tootsie Pop because I've done something good.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know why you expect me to remember things from like more than 2 decades ago. Particularly how I got candy.
Well, Tootsie Pops for me were only available in very specific circumstances as a kid, which is that they were given away for free at a certain restaurant. So like, that would always be, you'd eat at this restaurant and then you'd be in the parking lot eating a Tootsie Pop.
Okay. So just to back up Diet Coke, you had a very specific way of procuring Tootsie Pops.
Well,
but because I didn't, I'm the asshole for not remembering how I got all my Tootsie Pops.
I never thought you were an asshole. What I'm trying to get at is it's interesting to me that Tootsie Pops were like an everyday candy that was around. Because to me, they weren't around for me. I guess what I was expecting was for you to either have a specific source like I did, or for them not to be around. I'm just surprised that they would be like a normal candy, because to me they're not a normal.
I definitely had a few Tootsie Pops while we were still growing up in the same basic geographical area. So, I don't know what the fuck was going on in your life.
I guess maybe the people in my life just had an attachment to Lucille's as the restaurant and didn't feel a need to introduce Tootsie Pops outside of Lucille's.
Okay. Now here's fact number 2 about Mr. Owl. Mr. Owl isn't the only one with a fondness for Tootsie Pops.
No.
I don't know if you remember.
Turtle?
There was, it was that Turtle, Mr. Turtle.
Sure.
These guys are really good at naming characters.
Yeah, I mean, apparently not, because neither of us could remember for sure. I mean, you remembered that it was Mr. Owl.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah. There was also apparently a Mr. Cow, but I don't think I remember Mr. Cow. Or Mr. Fox.
Mr. Fox sounds slightly more familiar than Mr. Cow.
Well, does that just, a fantastic kind of start ringing the bell?
Could be.
Who was the voice of Mr. Owl anyway?
Was it Mr. Feeney? Was it the guy who played Mr. Feeney?
It was Paul Winchell.
Don't think that's him.
No, he also provided vocals in commercials for Burger Chef and the Scrubbing Bubbles.
Do you ever wish you could go to Burger Chef?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I think I have a fondness for Burger Chef purely because they commissioned these posters to be like sold at the restaurant, these Star Wars posters, and I have the whole set of 4 hanging in my home.
Interesting.
And they're just relics of this fast food chain that doesn't exist anymore.
Huh. I don't think I ever got to eat at a Burger Chef.
I don't think either of us did. I think they were gone before either of us were born.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we start the show?
Here's no. This is all cold open. They're all enjoying this.
Okay, great.
Here's the next fact about Mr. Owl. Made it to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Let's celebrate. For anyone who's been victorious at licking his or her way, we can just say there. Come on now.
Yeah.
To the center of a Tootsie Pop, Mr. Owl would like to present you with the Clean Stick Award.
I don't like to hear that.
Gross name. You can download a PDF to record your accomplishment at this link. It's even signed by Mr. Owl with his bird feet.
I don't care for that.
Yeah. And the last fact about Mr. Owl, I don't believe actually involves Mr. Owl whatsoever.
I feel like a lot of these have been. I guess Mr. Owl came into play at the end of that last fact.
Researchers at New York University and Florida State University, I guess they needed 2 hands on this ball, conducted a study in 2015 to find out how many times one would need to lick a Tootsie Pop to reach the center. Their findings revealed that 997 licks are needed to get there.
That does remind me actually of I guess I'm a liar because this is a separate Tootsie Pop memory that I had forgotten about until just now. A kid at my elementary school did that for like a science fair project.
Oh.
And they had like a machine it was like a motorized wheel with a wet sponge on it that served as a sort of artificial liquor. And the kid just counted how many times the sponge made contact with the sucker What's
Do
up?
you think Diet Coke? I don't know if you stayed in contact with this person, but do you think that I could could procure this, as you called it, automatic liquor?
Can we start the show? Welcome to the Big Match Minute. I'm Diet Coke.
And I am Lilith.
And this is the show where we break down matches in wrestling that we find personally significant or interesting, minute by minute. We are currently covering the Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania 36. And we are on minute 8?
8, you're correct. Yes.
I can count.
We are 3 minutes into the match itself, if I'm doing the math correctly. No. 4. Because there were 4 video package minutes. Roughly.
Yeah.
The minute starts out. You got John Cena.
Yeah. Where is he? Where is he?
He is in the Firefly Funhouse.
Yep.
And in a weird moment of sort of cinematic parallels. Almost as if they knew that this was going to be turned into a match by minute podcast.
Yeah.
However, probably that would be. The last minute began with Bray Wyatt entering the door that said "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here."
Ye who exit here.
Exit here. I always get it wrong.
Sorry. That I always correct you.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You always get the name of the match wrong, so it's all good.
Didn't today, though.
You didn't today, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I've worked very hard to say Firefly Funhouse match.
So, minute 7 begins with Bray Wyatt going through that fateful door.
Yeah. Abandoning all hope, as apparently.
Yes. Minute 8 begins with John Cena entering the door.
Yeah.
Almost like frame by frame, like they're in the exact same position.
Yeah. Which prompted me to say, hey, didn't we do this minute already?
Yeah. There was a moment of confusion.
Yeah, but I was incorrect. I was mistaken. As I often am.
Usually are. Mr. Cena comes in through the door. Jonathan, as I've taken to calling him.
Do you think it would be fun to see Ian McShane's character from the John Wick films say Jonathan like he does, but he's talking to John Cena instead this time.
Oh, that would be very fun.
Wouldn't it? All right. We don't need to explore that concept further. There's nothing else there.
Maybe when there's when Keanu finally laces up a pair of boots. And
when he finally stops being a coward and enters the squared circle.
Here's a weird thing. I'm doing the math in my head, and I might need to Google to verify this. Keanu Reeves and The Undertaker, I think, are within like 2 or 3 years of each other.
That makes sense to me. I believe that.
That's weird, right?
It's weird, but it makes sense to me. That's just like a powerful illustration of what wrestling does to a body and a face over long periods of time.
Well, I mean, also like, and this is not just the gimmick, because he also kind of looked like this back in WCW.
True.
Mark Calloway always kind of looked like a corpse. So like,
yeah,
he always had very sunken eyes.
Yeah. In fact, I believe if I just did my Googling correctly, I believe Undertaker is in fact 1 year younger than Keanu Reeves.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Keanu born in 64, Undertaker born in 65. So.
Oh my God. Keanu Reeves is older than The Undertaker.
Yeah.
John Wick is older than The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
That's something to chew on, something to think about.
Oh, wow.
Something to stick in your jaw and really work up a nice light brown frothy liquid of thoughts about.
Ugh.
That's
okay.
what chewing tobacco does. That's what happens when you chew on something.
Listen, Diet Coke. Yeah. I spent a decent portion of my youth when I was involved in certain organizations that I was involved in my youth. One of the things that we would do is we would clean up college sports places.
God.
After
so
they were
I'm so sad about where this is going.
After they were used. And let me tell you something.
So sorry, gentle listener.
One of the worst things in the world is spending a Sunday morning just kind of finding Sprite cans that are filled with chew.
You have told me this before, and it doesn't get any less upsetting.
Okay, well, maybe you should stop talking about fucking...
Sorry.
That shit you just talked about.
I would like to apologize
hear that story
to you, Lily, and to the listener for my actions today. So Jonathan Cena's in the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, he's in just a dark room, barely lit.
I'm talking about. There's one thing I want to mention before that, which is that you see just like the clenched fist of the Bray Wyatt cutout on the left hand of the screen before he leaves, and it's a weird thing to see. When you forgot how you got there for a second, just like a fist, just mostly out of frame. It just sort of adds to the, the mise en scène, if you will.
Yes.
Now he's in the dark room. Yes, he exits the fire. He has abandoned all hope because he is one of the all ye who have exited here now, and that's a totally normal way to say that sentence. And I think I'm going to win a Peabody for that one.
Yeah, a Peabody.
For excellence in broadcasting.
And now, just to be clear, that is not a Peabody Award. That's just a body that is just filled with piss.
Okay. That's not the kind of show that I'm trying to run here.
Well, you did just try to talk to me about chewing tobacco. So
fair.
John Cena's in the dark room.
Yes, and a sort of void.
We cannot see behind him. There's nothing around him.
Yeah.
He's barely lit. And we just kind of hear some building creepy synths.
Yeah.
As he just kind of looks around in confused terror.
Yeah. Also, I might have said this in a previous minute too, but John Cena looking real old. When you see him wearing the clothes that he wears outside of the context of like being on the way to a wrestling ring, he's just like a friggin' guy in his 40s wearing a bright green t-shirt and cargo shorts and a baseball hat. And it's almost a similar look to like Pee Wee Herman, like part of what makes Pee Wee Herman interesting to look at is that he's the grown adult man in what can only be described as like a child's suit. This is the same thing, but instead of like the kind of child that Pee Wee Herman dresses up as, he's sort of dressed as like a shitty 14-year-old.
And then a puppet that we have heretofore has gone undiscussed on this podcast shows up to quite a lovely little bum bum bum.
It, I believe, is literally a like sound cue from GarageBand. Like I mean, it's probably it's probably just like a free to use little cue that's in a lot of things, but I'm certain I have used that one while making a project in GarageBand before.
Now let's talk about this puppet.
Yeah, this puppet is a lot to think about and to look at.
This puppet really it does some good things to me. I enjoy this puppet. It is very clearly Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yep.
In a suit that, like, it's like 80s, 90s Vince suit. Before, it's pre Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, it has what is essentially the like 80s WWF logo, just without the F, obviously.
Oh, and he has devil horns.
He does have devil horns, yes. It's also like, it's like a puppet that looks, except for the face, I would say it's a puppet that looks like it was made out of shit they had lying around. Like, it's not a real puppet.
Yeah, a puppet is when a puppet starts rhyming at you.
What? Oh, like a couplet?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just move past that.
What I like about this puppet is that every time we cut to the puppet, it's sort of a different shape.
Yeah.
Because it's just clearly people like, or a person like stuffing their hands into like a shirt. Like, it's not actually a puppet, it's just a shirt with a head on top of it. I really enjoy that. It sort of adds to the unsettling quality here that John Cena sees this very obvious puppet and is unable to regard it as anything but another human being talking to him because of the dreamlike nature of the Firefly Funhouse.
And now let's go into what this puppet starts to say.
Yeah,
it's definitely not Vince doing the voice.
No, it is someone doing the Vince McMahon impression that anyone can do.
Yes, exactly. That you previously clowned on me for saying mine wasn't good enough.
I don't recall that.
In episode 4 of the Big Match Minute.
I believe it happened, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to do it again.
Okay.
And if you say anything this time, I'm going to punch you in the arm.
Was I saying that it was bad what you were doing?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, it hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry about that.
And it hurt my feelings again when I was editing it last week.
Sorry.
That's the episode that came out just a few days ago.
I'm so sorry, Lily.
No, it's fine. I don't give a shit. I just like to elicit emotional tenderness from my friends for because that's the only thing that's keeping me going right now. John Cena. That was bad. I'll own up to that. John Cena.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then he pokes his hand into John Cena's chest, and we get a cool couple little boinks.
Yeah, this is one of those great things that you see in like movies sometimes where they've abandoned any kind of like natural speaking rhythm, and it's just like a satisfying combination of sounds, really, more than it is actual conversation. It works really well, I would say.
But yeah, we get the little cartoon boinks, and then he says, "Do you have enough ruthless aggression to reach for the stars as you never have before?"
Yeah.
Do you have enough ruthless aggression to excel beyond your wildest dreams? Do you have enough ruthless aggression to make enough sacrifices of mind, body, and soul to become a success in this company? Show me, or you're fired.
It's weird that, and listen, we don't need to talk about who these two people are. We know who the other one is. It's weird that two people have "you're fired" as a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Did that come up when they were feuding?
By the time you have to remember that when I got into wrestling in late 2015.
Yeah, fair.
So by the time I was,
it was well past that
into
era.
wrestling, I was like, well, not only was it past that era, it was past the era where I felt comfortable engaging with the content of the second one.
Yeah.
So
fair.
Yeah. It is weird though.
That's all.
No, and one could even say that one of those fascists probably took it from the other one, because I think Mr. McMahon has been saying it since the Austin feud, right? Like,
yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah, and The Apprentice wouldn't start until 3 or 4 years after that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we cracked it.
Wow. All right. Well, that is the worst thing that that man has done ever. Obviously.
Okay. No, Lily, no, that's not. That's not the point of view of this podcast.
Betraying the trust of his good friend Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
A Lily heel turn on this episode.
Well, since we haven't said his name aloud, I will just say that
you're talking about Hornswoggle.
That whoever this is, I feel comfortable calling for him to be tarred, feathered, and burned alive.
Yes, I would agree with that. It's we got to be careful here, Lily, because I can't be the babyface of this podcast. I can't stress that enough. You cannot turn heel.
And that is. Let me pull the minute back up real quick.
That is, I believe, the end of this minute. We get into the start of what would be the theme here, which is like revisiting the early parts of John Cena's career.
Yeah.
With, of course, the phrase "ruthless aggression" being his kind of whole deal when he was first introduced to national audiences.
Which I don't want to get too far into it, because this particular scene from his career gets dissected even further as the match goes on. But God, when he came out in those little boy shorts, and
it's something else.
I mean yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it, but God, beautiful. Ruthless aggression. Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of this minute?
I thought this was a great minute. It's a very Spartan minute. There's not a lot happening, but not a lot needs to happen. I think this is a great way to start the match, and I think we're off to the races.
It's starting the menacing, the psychological torment of John Cena.
Yeah,
continuing
the theme of like sort of cheap aesthetics being used to incite fear. I would say even down to it just being like an obvious free sound clip they could use for that little suspense stinger. Yeah. That's the bread and butter of the Firefly Funhouse.
Well,
I didn't know the church lady was going to show up on this episode.
I don't get that joke.
Oh, the church lady was a character that Dana Carvey used to do. She would go, well, that was more Ronald Reagan what I did. I felt like, I'm not an impersonator. I can't do the church lady.
Hey, Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I've been running into an issue with my bathtub.
Here we go.
Here we go. Where I keep I keep trying to fill it up.
Yeah.
And the water just keeps draining right out of the damn thing. And so I was wondering,
you can't take a bath like that. That's a problem.
I can't. Yeah, exactly. All I can do is shower, which is also a difficulty because I have one of those little walk-in like old people baths, which is like not a joke. I have one of those.
Yeah.
It actually beats ass. 'Cause it's got jets and stuff.
I would love to use that bath one day.
Hey, someday you're gonna visit me in Austin. You're gonna you're gonna take a bath in my bathroom.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But before you do that, in order for you to be able to take a bath in my bathroom, Diet Coke, I do need to know, do you have any plugs?
You can't see, but I'm standing up. That's a standing ovation for that setup. Sure. You can follow me on Twitter at verycoolemily. You can go to dietcoke.cool to watch me stream on Twitch. Haven't done that in a while, but
That's true.
I'll get back on the horse someday. You can.
We've been streaming a lot more on my channel.
That's true.
We stream together a lot more these days.
We do. That's true.
So you can, either dietcoke.cool or just twitch.tv/deathcarpets. You can do whatever,
Yeah.
Follow us both.
Yeah, do that. You can, whatever. I got some other podcasts. One's called Go Go Godzilla. One's called The Official Dunstan Checks In Podcast. And I don't even know what you mean when you suggest that I paused before that name, as if I didn't remember the name to my own podcast. It's not like I changed the name of my podcast in the final 2 months of it being a thing.
And the artwork.
We actually have a wonderful logo that was co-designed by myself and the wonderfully talented Lily from Ghost Puncher Corps.
I mean, I kind of just provided guidance. I don't know what you call that.
But both of those podcasts you can find on benvnetwork.com.
All right. You can go to twitter.com/deathcarpets to find me just doing whatever the hell it is that I do. You can go to ghostpuncher.net to listen to I've got a cool actual play podcast called Ghost Puncher Core. You can also, this recently happened, and you might as well just put it out there. The actual podcast probably came out a couple months ago at this point, but I was on our friends and podcast network mates podcast Radish, along with one of my friends, Amanda from Ghost Puncher, to both hang out on Radish, a cool show and tell podcast, and talk Ghost Puncher. So you can go check that out. I don't remember what exactly episode number that was, but you'll see me and Amanda listed in the episode description.
Oh yeah,
it was a fun time. I accidentally made a really mean joke about actual play podcasts that luckily did not hurt the feelings of the people who graciously invited me on their show, despite the fact that it was accidentally pointed squarely in their direction.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, sometimes it does. Hey, Diet Coke?
Yeah.
I'm new to this whole movies by minute or things by minute podcasting genre.
Yeah.
And so I forget things.
Yeah. What do you need? What are you trying to remember?
Did we ever figure out like a sign-off phrase or something like that for this show?
Oh, no.